That's really good.
All right, so hello and good afternoon. My name is Katia Powell, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Sorry for being a few minutes late. So you're joining us because today's webinar is about smartphones for smart health. So 2016 is right around. So we're going to get a jump start on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so here we go. Slide. And I need my glasses. Cool. All right, so I'm going to start from the beginning. So my name is Katia Powell. I'm the co-CEO of Techtrition, which is a mobile health technology company, and we focus on online nutrition education programs, and also we're building out an app. So today's presentation is about smartphones for smart health. So minority community, there's a growing gap between the availability of certain kind of health technology. You can walk down New So, but yet in the minority community, there's a growing gap between available health technology and getting people to actually adopt it. So every year, not even every year, like every month, there's something new. So how can we take these new technologies and help people improve their health? So Techtrition, that's what we do. We basically look to fill the gap through design at the center. And at any point in time, like, stop me. And you know what? You can't actually see this. Well, can you? Okay, cool. Actually, yeah, you have it. All right, cool. So that's me. Did you see my before and after picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's me 10 years ago. I was 350 pounds. Some people ask me, like, how did I get that way? I ate a lot and I didn't move my body. But at that point in time, I wanted to become a medical doctor. YMCA, and it was cold. I don't like the cold. I was born here, but I don't like the cold. And I know I wanted Hot Pockets, honey bun, and cheesecake. I was going to go to Stop and Shop. The bus wasn't really running. I walked all the way down to Stop and Shop, got everything, and had to walk back. I had the cheesecake on a plate. Notice I didn't say like a slice. I had the cheesecake on a plate, and I caught my reflection in the mirror. And at that point in time, I was like, who is that person? You know, I felt like I was trapped. I was literally trapped inside of my body. Cheesecake fell on the floor, tears flowed, went down to the Roxborough YMCA, and I said, all I know is I lost my baby, I lost my job, and I dropped out of school, but all I know is I want to save my life and stop digging my grave with my fork. Can you help me? And then more tears. I'm a crier, whatever, because I'm really passionate about what I do. And they gave me a free membership. 6 months later, I lost 100 pounds. Another year and a half later, I lost another 100 pounds. But I actually became too skinny. So skinny doesn't equal healthy, because you can't just tell from looking at somebody whether, like, how's your liver doing, how's the cholesterol, how's the blood, you can't tell. So now my mission, along with Techtrition and several other things I do in the community, is to make sure that we put health as the #1 priority, because without your health, you can't really do anything else. So what is mHealth? mHealth is just a generation, aggregation, and dissemination of health information via mobile and wireless devices. So 83% of physicians are already using some kind of technology to do this. But let's devices like Fitbits. I wear a Mi Band. This was like $20, and it connects directly to my phone. Pedometers, which are just motion sensors, fitness track. In the partner system, so I'm actually able to, there's an online portal, which is security protected, and I can directly contact my doctor. And I just get more access to it, and they respond to all of my emails, because I'm that hypersensitive patient who just asks a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions, like, what is this? You have to. But it's like secure, so HIPAA. But in the world, in 2011, there was over 5 billion people who have mobileless wireless devices. So this is why mobile health and applications can stay connected via Facebook, because they may not have internet at home, but most people have a cell phone with a data plan. And at any point in time, since this is very intimate, just ask me any kind of questions, okay? Cool. So here's the facts about smartphones and total usage. 66% of all Americans own a cell phone. My mama has a cell phone, my grandmother had a cell phone. I was like, what is going on? The average person spends 162 minutes or more on their cell phone. 23 days per year, and 3.9 years of the average person's lifespan. So this is like the bare minimum, okay? 97% of people use text messages. So I don't know about you, but sometimes my phone rings and I'm like, why are they calling me? And then I get the text message and I text them right back because the average person responds to a text message in 90 seconds. So between 60 and 70% of all people in the US own a smartphone, the highest being African American or people of color. I was just reading, I forget which news source it was, but they say that 85% of all Black teens own a smartphone. And it's not even like the basic one, they have like a really fancy one. Because these are computers. Like you can do your business. I do my business, a lot of it here. I can check my email, stay connected. So, but people primarily use it for social networking, watching videos, listening to music, streaming, and etc. So did you know that the mobile health technology company is a $14.3 billion industry? That's crazy. That's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I
didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, 14.3. Like, think about it. You go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and you download, like, how many, like, I've done this. I downloaded an app. I'm like, this is going to change my life. And then I use it day one, day two, and then it sits there. So we want to make sure that with Noir Nutrition, we utilize it, and then you get that personal experience of actually being paired with a nutrition professional. Like, okay, let me see. Let me ask you, what's the number on your phone? Like, what's the number one app that you use?
That's not like a standard app.
Just any app.
It's probably like Google Maps or Waze.
Mm-hmm. Mine is Facebook. I looked at my battery life the other day, and it said it was like 70% of my usage was on Facebook. And so, well, like YouTube, like Waze, I love Waze because you download Waze, and this is not for smartphones for smart health, but it's the smartphones to save me the aggravation of being in traffic. It just tells you all the different routes. So we have this battle going on between Google and Apple. Some people are team iPhone, some people are team Android. I'm team iPhone. Are you team iPhone?
I'm Android.
You're Android.
All the way.
See, so the room is divided. But you know, it's one of those things where with Apple, once you have the iPhone, it runs seamlessly with everything else. So it's kind of funny how I have an iPhone and I'm using a PC, and you have a Mac and you have an Android. Whatever works, right? So we have this battle going on between Android and Apple. So Android Wear is actually similar to like the Apple Watch. I will not personally buy an Apple Watch, so just in case anybody from Apple will be watching this, I'll use it, test it out, but I'm not gonna $400 plus. No, thank you. That's why I have the minivan. But both of the Google Fit. This is not already installed on your cell phone, so you actually have to download it from the Google Play Store. But it's made up of 3 APIs. So this stands for Application Programming Interface. Recording, just a bunch of different data points and physical sensors. So if you want to track your steps, or if you want to look at your heart rate, there's all these different things. Weight, all those different things. But there's no mention of sleep tracking with Google Fit. So you would actually have to download another app and then get it to work. So actually, I already said that. So with Apple, even though I'm team Apple, it's already installed on your phone. You don't have to download anything, and it's much more invasive. So most people, like, did you know that your phone has a step tracker on it?
Yes.
You did?
What I didn't know, I found out from watching bad TV. Well, I guess I shouldn't say bad TV since this is online, but I was watching CSI Cyber, I think, and they were trying to solve a crime, and the way they solved it is they used the motion sensor in somebody's And I was like, wait, I didn't know my phone did things like that.
No, but like even with like the Apple one, like you can do the basics. You can do not necessarily heart rate, but definitely sleep patterns. Like anytime I go to a meeting, sometimes I'm like, did you know that your phone tracks your steps? People are like, what? Right? But you would actually have to keep your phone on you at all times. But the Apple Health tracks your age, your gender, your sleep patterns, your blood type, your blood glucose, your cycling activity. So like women's menses, walking activity, and much more. It's like all this personal information is on your phone, right? But it's an easy to read dashboard. And all you have to do is just open up your phone. It's usually it's white with a little heart inside of it, and just open it up and start playing around with it. So like that's what it looks like, right?
What's that app called?
No, so this is Apple Health.
Apple.
So if you have an Android, it will be Google Health. Google Fit, and this is Apple Health. And so you see sleep and activity. I don't know why it's not syncing with my Mi Band, but if you wanted to put like your body measurements, your fitness, your nutrition, like all this stuff, because we're moving towards this whole idea of quantified self. And I was just at the Mass Challenge Awards night where they gave away $1 million, and I'm like, next year on stage, like 50,000 for you, $500,000 for you, and I'm like, this is really nice. One of the companies was shout out to like I think it's called BioRacist, and all they do is not all they do a lot more, but it's a subdermal sensor that they put below the skin that tracks the blood glucose for diabetes. So how many times do people have to finger stick or do something invasive? If you have the biosensor right there, you're good, right?
I actually did see that one. I had texted or maybe emailed my aunt, and I said, it's too bad that our grandfather isn't younger. I don't think he would be like a good candidate for that just because he's on the older side and because of his diabetes, he's had a lot of health issues, but I can't see where that would work really well for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a baby when it comes to needles. I can stick somebody with a needle, but when somebody's trying to stick me, like there's so many different nerve endings in the tip of your finger. So just think about, some people have to stick their finger before breakfast. Anytime they eat, they have to stick their finger, right? And then poor kids who maybe have type 1 diabetes, right? They have to like do the needles. Like one of my friends' son like knows, he's like, okay, mom, give it to me. I can do it. And every time I watch him do it, I'm like, I told you I was a crybaby.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness, right? But they even have some things where you can actually embed it inside of you, and it looks like a little deeper. Actually, maybe I'm dating myself because maybe it's probably a lot smaller now.
I think they're relatively big. I did have a girl I knew in college who had the one that was like installed in her side or like the side of her stomach, and it's not as small as I think people make it out to be, but for some it's working.
Yeah, so I mean, rather than having her stick herself like a couple times a day, but like think about, so if you have that going on, right, and then you have the biosensor underneath your skin, you don't necessarily have to stick yourself with any kind of like invasive needle. So technology. So there are so many apps for tracking your health. I am not going to cover all of them. I am only going to cover some of my favorites. So Nike Plus running. So every time I think I'm going to start off with jogging, I download Nike Plus. So basically just tracks your run, like tracks your different runs. And you can actually go on there. You can actually compete against different people. So if I know that you're starting and I'm starting, like, okay, cool, we're going to keep each other accountable. There's something about competition. I don't like to lose. Like I tell my clients, I'm like, I don't lose. All I do is win. And so they're like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, because I never give up. But there's something about competition, especially when it comes to health, that keeps you motivated, right? So it's Nike Plus, but you can actually track your walking. You can track a bunch of different things, but it's all fitness related, okay? There's Runtastic, which is very similar to Nike Plus, Map My Run, etc., right? Okay, Dance Party. I like Dance Party because it's actually the music and you can mirror the things that are on here. It's kind of like, I
Like Just Dance for the video. I've had so many. I think I have like 3 or 4 at my house.
But okay. I'm a Zumba instructor. I can dance. I can coordinate. But anytime I go to like the arcade with my younger, I'm not, I'm still a PYT, whatever. But I see the kids like dancing to Just Dance. I'm like, how did they? It's so. I'm good.
Yeah.
So if you want to avoid people dancing in front of people and messing up, then you could use Dance Party. It's kind of like the Wii, right? Okay. Healthy Out. This is one of my favorite apps so far for 2015. Actually, 2015 is out the door, but whatever. If you're thinking about, I don't have a lot of time to actually make my food, Whole Foods is like right there at the edge of my street, so they see me every day. So, have you seen this? So, here's a pretty cool thing, and I know you guys on the web can't actually see it, and I'm probably gonna re-record this and then show you all, but for you, so let's just do this. What's the address here? 2300 Washington Street, right? All right. Cool. Zip code is 02119, right?
Yes.
Okay. So find food. All right, cool. So GPS, right? So it shows you all these different locations. Because at first I was like, there ain't no healthy food in my area. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, Subway. Let's not do Subway. Let's do one that we don't think. Okay. Arizona BBQ House of Pizza. It tells you automatically what is on it. So say we want the haddock sandwich, because I like fish. It tells you the price. It tells you different ways that you may modify it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also say you're like, oh, cool. Let me just go ahead and give them a call. You can go right here. More info. Call them. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know, like whatever. You know what? Today, because this is a whole lifestyle choice. Be like, I want the full menu. So if you don't want the limitations, it'll pop up on there also. And it's free. I think they actually go by GPS and NACES codes to actually compile. It's like I need a new computer. So my fitness file. So
which I've had a dozen times. It's still just sitting there.
Right? So I've downloaded it. I've used it for whatever. You put your height, your weight in there. You're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this. But it's basically to track your meal consumptions, your different kind of foods when you want to use it. But one of the things that we're trying to solve is not just getting people to actually just download it, but what's going to keep people from not from shaming people. So like one of my clients I was talking to the other day, she's like, well, I don't want to send you pictures of my food or send it to you because I don't want you to judge me, right? And I'm like, well, this is never any kind of judgment. Like, we have goals. You have goals and I have goals, so I'm here to help you. So just log it. Take a picture of it. If you had like 3 pieces of pizza, take a picture of it, be accountable. Yumly, so that has 20 million recipes, which you can also, I'm not a I don't like to cook. Sometimes I like how they get the baskets and they're like, and it's appetizer and you have 5 ingredients and you have 20 minutes to fix it. And you're like, how are you gonna? Well, if you're not a top chef, or you can just download Yumly and it actually gives you all those different recipes and then you can modify it. So if you're vegan, a vegetarian, a pescatarian, or one of those other Aryans, then you can modify it. Daily burn, different range of power workouts with a health kit, so including calories burned. So if you do Zumba, like one of my classes, the average person used to burn between 800 and 1,000 calories If you take a CrossFit class or a boot camp class, you may end up burning. You're like, what's the best type of workout? What's the best time to made it off, you alternate between cardio and strength training, because with strength training, as a woman, you're not gonna, another thing that people say is like, well, I don't wanna bulk. Not unless you're actually taking some kind of enhancers like a steroid, you're not gonna end up bulking. So use low weight, maybe 5, 7 pounds, 10 pounds max, and you do the interval training, do 5 to 6 exercises, a minute each, take maybe like a 2-minute break in between, repeat it about 3 to 5 cycles, you're gonna be done at the end of it. But you're gonna feel good too, because I like lifting weights and putting them down. Also spinning is actually really, really good too. It depends on the instructor, but if they have you out of your seat for most of the time, you burn a crazy amount of calories and you like shed really quick. There's another app called It's not like ours. I'm gonna do a shameless plug in a couple minutes, but oh, that started like no problem. Oh, shameless plug. I did put it up there. So with Noir Nutrition, we provide affordable one-to-one personal coaching from a top nutrition expert. So I like to always tell people, it's like walking with a nutritionist in your pocket. Like, how many times have you went to the grocery store and then you start off on a new meal plan and they're like, oh, you can have Greek yogurt. You go to the yogurt section, you're like, crap. There's like a gajillion different types of yogurt. Which one did she say? Which one did he say? So you would be able to, maybe you buy it, you go home, you take a picture of it within a 24-hour period of time, because we will be working towards on-demand health coaching. But for right now, within every 24 hours, you get feedback from somebody saying, not just from somebody, but from your nutrition professional, saying that you're on the right track. Maybe you want to include kale. Maybe you don't want to do, the burger from a fast food drive-through. Maybe you want to go to another place like Be Good, or maybe you want to make the burgers at home by yourself. We're not saying don't eliminate anything. We were always like, based upon your health goal that you tell us that you are trying to do, we would customize something for you. But at the same time, that are culturally tailored. So my family's from down south and from Jamaica. There is no way. I went to a nutritionist a long time ago, and she told me that I had to basically get rid of my rice and beans and my curry chicken. And I'm like, y'all can't see me on the web, but if you saw my face, I was like, not gonna happen. And then you're giving me a meal plan where it's good. It would work if I do it, right? If I do it. But I don't see anything that resonates me where I'm from, because for people of color, food is more than food. Food is love, food is family. Most of my most vivid memories involve my family and food. Like every Christmas and Thanksgiving, I already know it's going down with my my brother's grandmother's 7-day rum cake, and I can't wait for it. So I mean, there's no way that we want people to totally remove the different kind of foods that they culturally identify with. Maybe we need to make some small changes based upon your goals. Maybe if you eat griot, is it called griot? Yeah, griot, which is totally delicious, but maybe you don't eat it 5 times a week, because it's fried and it is delicious. But salt and all these different things are for sugar. There's 30. Last time I checked, there was 32 different names for sugar. Who can? Do you have any questions? No? Okay, I'm just flowing through this. Okay, cool. So with Noir Nutrition, this is what it actually. So they can't see anything. It's just they see the screen. Okay. So here's the Noir Nutrition. So say for instance, you log on. Well, actually, you download it. and then you log on, you will be prompted to take your first picture of your food, right? We don't really care what it is. For the first 3 days, we want you to eat as normal, right? Over that 3-day period of time, your nutrition professional will give you kind of like a recap. Like, so based upon the last 72 hours, based upon your goals of losing 10 pounds, of shedding 10% body fat within a certain period of time, here's some changes that we can actually make. We don't provide people with like customized meal plans. That's something that you can get as an additional service, but we give you the guidelines to follow. So now all you basically do is like all your food and drink, you take a picture of it, it automatically uploads. This is going to be connected to a social media network. So, because people are always on Facebook, like you should be working, but sometimes people are just always on Facebook. So we want to make sure that we provide that social networking so that, say for instance, you're like, okay, you post, I don't want to use the words, I guess Sally popped into my head. I'm like, I don't want to call her Sally. So Sally posts a picture of her food that she made at home. You're like, oh my God, that's so good. You can ask her, how does she make it? And she can provide the recipe. Maybe sometimes you don't want to directly contact. So this every go would very easily, and you need to keep people at the top. So here we go. Do you have any questions?
For
Just in general, like anything.
for your app in particular, is it gonna, because I know like Apple Health and Google Fit, are they gonna feed across as well? Like,
Are we going to start with Apple first and then Android? Or?
yeah.
So we're going, apparently, and I'm not a developer, but the developers tell us that it's a lot easier to start with Apple first, iOS, and then go over into the Android. But one of the things that we will be doing is for January, we want to do another round of beta users because we did a round back in September. It was actually a lot of fun too. A lot of fun, and we got really good feedback. People lost weight, but more importantly, people felt better about themselves at the end of it. And people also learned healthier habits. So maybe you didn't drink that much water to begin with, right? Or you went, okay, side story. I'm not going to tell the person's name, but I went to a local coffee shop, not the one I went to downstairs, but a different one. And I was in line, and the lady ahead of me, she ordered a coffee with 15 sugars and 5 creams. Yep. And then sugar-free syrup. Don't ask me. Sorry. So I was like, okay, no judging. Okay, she's basically for every teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of sugar is 15 calories, 15. I'm like doing calculations in my head. I'm like, whoa. And then she looked behind because I was advertising, I had my button on, and then she asked me about losing weight. So I told her, we have some work to do, some things to change with healthier habits. If she would be willing to make some small modifications, I'd be more than willing to become like her health coach. They know better, but in the moment, when the cookie is in front of you, and you know that you should eat the cookie, and I'm talking about myself, it's really tough sometimes to not to be in the moment. But I tell people treat each day as it is, just small wins, big goals, right? So myself, I like to talk about myself, but because I don't like to talk about other people's experiences without getting their authorization. But I know for me, I went up to 194 pounds. And I was like, how did this happen? I was part of the Smart in the City Business Accelerator. You're sitting on your butt a lot. Maybe you're not eating the best kind of food. Not saying that Smart in the City promotes this, but as an entrepreneur, late hours, you grab and go. You grab and go. You may not eat as frequently. You may not drink as much water. You're sedentary, not unless you're running from meeting to meeting. But more than that, the weight just came on. One of your first indicators to know that there's something going on is your clothes. But I was just in denial until I put on my pants one day, and I was like, whoa, these are kind of snug. Then I hopped in the scale, and I was like, oh, heck no. As soon as I made the conscious decision to start taking care of myself better, especially since I'm telling people, I lost 20 pounds in like a month, which was crazy because that means that I had to cleanse my body of different things. So a healthy weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds a week. So definitely, if you're going to go faster, make sure that you're working with a nutrition expert or your physician to help moderate that and watch over it, and especially if you're on medications. But for me, I lost 20 pounds in a month. And not the crazy thing, but then people were telling me, are you okay? You look sick. And I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I'm not too skinny. I actually really feel good. Um, so I want to make sure that there are no questions online. All right, I'm going to stop sharing just for a second. Let's see. Making sure. Because if not, I'm going to do my little recap, and we're going to be done. All right. We go here. All right. No questions online. So let's do a little brief recap. Actually, my head is right in the middle of the screen. Setup and everything, so I know what to do. So just to give a quick recap. So if you have a Google or Android phone, you're going to be using Google Fit. And if you have an iPhone, you'll be using Apple Health. The main difference is that both of them have sensors that track your movements. Sensor recording and history, so they would track your movements, but also with Apple Health, it actually tracks a lot more. If you have an Android phone, download something that actually works for you that you would utilize. Maybe grab an accountability partner. I know that sometimes that's a lot better for people. Just knowing that there's somebody else who's also trying to improve their health. Taking daily small wins each day. So if one day you're gonna be, my goal is drinking 64 ounces of water. You can download, there's an app called Water Your Body, which you can download. So you put on there like what time you wake up, height, weight, and what time you go to sleep. And it basically, based upon the size of the container that you normally use, it would but it would remind you that maybe you should go drink some water. Because the average person, if you sleep about 6 to 8 hours per night, you actually breathe off and your body uses 32 ounces of water. So one of the first things to do, not cold water out of the refrigerator, but actually room temperature water, put some lemon in it. That gives like a gentle cleanse for your system and starts everything. Because your metabolism is like a fire, right? But to get it started, you actually, not like the fire, but you need to help to hydrate the. So room temperature water is actually the best thing because cold shocks the system. I used to go to a bunch of different like Asian restaurants, and I used to always wonder, like, why don't you guys put ice in your water? Not until I actually asked my friend, and she's like, oh, we don't like to use ice. And I was like, oh, get out of here. I did not know that. See, we ask a lot of questions, then we find out. And then also stay connected to Techtrition, but Noir Nutrition. So just go to noirnutrition.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors and partners, the Roxbury Innovation Center, City Awake, and Smarter in the City. And we look forward to doing more things like this and having more people and making sure that people stay connected and can utilize smartphones for smart health and the broadcast. Have a blessed day, you guys. Whenever you guys